Imagine this. So let's say you're a Thai business person, an executive, really successful in your field. You travel a lot. And every time you need to go to the US you're waiting weeks to get visa applications approved. Maybe not even just for business, but for like a vacation. You want to take your family and it takes forever to get approved. Sometimes they approve you, but not your spouse or your daughter or your family member, and gets rejected. Not only does it waste time, it wastes money, it ruins quality of life. But now imagine if you had a second passport that unlocks 150 or even 180 different countries, and not just for you, but for your entire family as well. That's the power of citizenship by investment, and that's what we're going to talk about.
So let me introduce myself. I'm Cleveland Cliff English III. I'm the managing director of Br'er Legal right here in Bangkok, BTS Udom Sok. And we're a corporate law firm, and amongst other things we help people with is citizenship by investment programs for countries all around the world. What is CBI? What is citizenship by investment? Citizenship by investment is a legal process whereby certain countries, they have programs set up where you invest in their country, and depending on what that country is, the program can look a little bit different. It could be just a direct investment into the government where you don't see that back or return. However, they give you the passport, someplace like Nauru or some of the Caribbean options. Or it can be an actual investment where you see a solid return, someplace like Portugal, for example, where you can purchase real estate or invest into one of the government approved funds. And based on how the program works, you receive your citizenship, that is your passport for that country, in as little as a few months, or maybe a golden visa shortly, and then the passport itself within several years, and such is the case with, say, Turkey or Portugal. These programs allow you and your family to have access to all the rights and benefits of a citizen of those countries. So in the EU, for example, with Portugal and Greece, you have Schengen access, you have access to healthcare, schooling, universities, education for your kids, the rights to own land and move about freely. It's not just an opportunity for you to travel easier, but it's security and opportunity for your family, for your kids.
All right, so let's talk about some of the leading programs and the costs. In the Caribbean, you have St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, Antigua, and in the South Pacific, there's countries like Vanuatu and Nauru. Good thing about them, the costs are relatively low, around 3 million Thai baht to around 5 or 6 million, and the approvals are fast. Then, in Europe, you have Portugal, Greece, and Turkey. These let you invest in property and investment funds. So meaning you have a second home where your family can live, study, and retire, and the investments you get back. Should you purchase a home, you can sell it after a set amount of time, 3 to 5 years. Should you invest in investment funds, the money's locked up for that time, but the vesting period is finished. You receive your money back along with your investment, sometimes 10, 15, 20%, depending on which investment that you decide to go with, and the return is tax-free in that jurisdiction. And you receive your passport. These take a little bit longer though. Some of these can take between 3 to 5 years. But during that time, you receive a golden visa. And speaking of golden visa, the golden visa program for the UAE, Dubai, for example, they allow you a certain resilience, offering you and your family an anchor in global trade centers. Imagine not just holding a passport, but owning a home in Portugal or Greece, places where your children can grow up with international opportunities. By now you're thinking, okay, some of these programs sound great, but what are some of the common mistakes people make? The thing is, there's a lot of different programs, and on the outside they look similar, especially if some countries have a very similar amount of countries that they give visa access to. You might just be tempted to go with a cheaper option. And that's the thing. There are programs that start at $105,000. And one might think, wow, I can get a passport in Nauru, for example, for $105,000, but for Portugal, I'm gonna need 500,000 euros. It's a big difference. But what they don't realize is that $105,000 that you spend for the Nauru passport, sure, you get that passport. Sure, it doesn't have quite as many options in terms of visa-free countries, but maybe that's okay for you. However, you don't get that $105,000 back. That's invested into the economy. With Portugal, that 500,000 euros, that's not a payment to the government. No, that's an investment which you see returns on, which you see dividends on. It can be an investment in one of the government approved funds, right, which span multiple different sectors from tourism, tech, like you name it. Or it can be physical land, property, real estate. And the returns on that are tax-free. So while you'll need more money up front to apply for a citizenship in Portugal, you actually come out ahead compared to some of the less expensive programs, say in Nauru or Vanuatu or Dominica, where you just pay into the government and that money's gone forever. Now, either one might be right for you, but a common mistake is people don't think about that aspect, or they don't realize what all is available to them. Another thing too is they don't think about how their family can qualify as well. Some of these programs include your whole family. Others just maybe your children, some your parents. Different rules for spouses. Some cost more money. Some require additional investment if your kids are over a certain age, like 22. We help people fix those common mistakes because we understand. We take the time to understand your needs, your investment goals, your travel goals, your freedom goals, and we put together a package for you. Where does Br'er Legal come in? We're not just paperwork processors, we're legal strategists. We tailor your CBI applications to your exact needs. So we ensure compliance with both Thai law and international regulations, proper structuring of your investments so they qualify for the right Citizenship by Investment program, smooth documentation and liaison with government agencies to avoid delays, so you avoid delays. And because we're also specialized in BOI incentives and promotion, Thai corporate law, and cross-border planning, we help you connect the dots between your Thai business and your global future. At Br'er Legal, we strategize for your family, from Antigua to Portugal, from Greece to Dubai. We ensure your spouse, children, even your parents, rest of your family are included. We structure your application to qualify, prepare every document, and manage approvals smoothly. One-stop shop. Because global mobility is most powerful when your whole family moves forward together. So, if you're a business person here in Thailand or elsewhere, and you're thinking about global mobility, the CBI program isn't just about a passport, but rather it's a business tool. It ensures resilient mobility, gives you a competitive edge over your competition, not just for yourself, but for your family. And here at Br'er Legal, we combine our local expertise with our global reach to put together your application, make sure it's safe, compliant, swift, and easy. So, when you're ready to pull the trigger on a new opportunity, a new passport for yourself and for your family, reach out to us here. And please, if you got this far and you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe and to like, because there's going to be a lot more content about this and other specific programs here in the future. Thank you.